Thank you. We love the funny reaction of narcissist. All right, we here. We ready? Dun dun dun. Here we go. Perfect. I'm in the picture. All right, let's do this. Here we go. All right. It's complicated. It's complicated, channel. Let's do it. I'm coughing already. Video is called Happy Wife.
Are women today still interested in marriage?
100%.
The reason why women today are still interested in marriage and is like still this obsession is because they get brainwashed by Disney from such a young age. And it's like this constant, let me play princess and prince. But they want to have this emotional spike of marriage. They love most women, I say most, okay, maybe not you, but most women love the idea of marriage and they're chasing emotion. And that's the problem with most people. They're chasing emotions. They don't really care about each other. They care about how the other person makes them feel. And that is the emotional addiction. That means if they care about the feelings, the problem with that is that as soon as someone else makes their feelings feel better, they're going to cheat with them. They're going to jump to them. Plus, in the relationship, in the beginning, oh, I chase the excitement of the wedding and the honeymoon. But after that, because they're on the emotional addictive engine and the emotions go down, they're going to project that on the partner and they're going to say, it's all your fault. You changed. You've been a narcissist.
Percentage of modern women are marriage material?
90%.
25%, really?
Okay, maybe like
I'd
70?
say like 75.
75, okay. What does it mean to be marriage material?
I think it just means to like, if you love your man enough and like you respect each other on like a personal and emotional level.
You have to have the person that you want to love and be with for the rest of your life. That's it. That's all that matters.
Not cheat.
See, they're making it all about emotions. They don't talk about it's going to be about the same values. Maybe we have the same values of traveling. We want to do actions together. We want the same values of intimacy, having values on intimacy, doing actions together, doing activities together. Maybe you love going to the gym together, travel, having the same values in the relationship, believing in loyalty. Loyalty is also based on actions. Are you respectful? Respectful is based on actions. Are you going to be on time? When I was young, my dad, when he said, oh, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes, I'm going to be there in 30 minutes, I'm going to be there in 45 minutes, he was there on the dot. He was never late. He showed me with his actions that he respected me and my time. That's loyalty. That's respect. That's actions. But they talking about, how does my partner going to make me feel?
I think that's a big one. Being
I
loyal.
think just as long as you like genuinely love the person you're with, you can make anything work.
Where are women being taught how to become good wives?
I'd say through their mums.
What does the color white represent on a woman's wedding dress?
That they're a virgin.
Purity.
How many women are actually pure when they get married?
Probably like maybe 5%.
No, okay, if you think about religion,
5%. You went to a Catholic high school or like elementary, junior high, high school. How like
okay,
no?
we don't talk about re-virginizing. I want to say a good solid 22.5%.
No, I'm saying
What is re-virginizing? What is she talking about? What is re-virginizing? Wait, what? Can you re-virginize yourself? How do you re-virginize yourself? Like, you got ran through by 150 guys and you like put some water on you. I'm re-virginized. I don't know. I want to know. Like, I want to know now. How in her mind is she re-virginizing herself? I do really want to know.
5%. 22.7.
How many women
He didn't ask the question. That would be the question I would have asked. What do you mean
are
re-virginizing?
actually pure when they get married?
None.
So why are we still using white wedding dresses?
This isn't white. This is ivory.
Oh, okay.
She's like, don't worry about it. This is not white. It doesn't mean I'm pure. This is ivory. She's like, how dare you? This is ivory.
What does that represent?
That I'm not a virgin. So it's not white.
She's hilarious.
Do you think people can
She's
be
a fun
sexually
girl.
incompatible?
No.
Yes. 1,000%.
If so, why would somebody marry a virgin?
I
or wait
didn't
until
I didn't
marriage
hear
to have
that what he
sex?
said. Sorry, I gotta go back.
No.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
This isn't white, this is ivory.
Oh, okay. So what does that represent?
That I'm not a virgin, so it's not white.
Okay. Do you think people can be sexually incompatible?
No.
Yes. 1,000%.
If so, why would somebody marry a virgin or wait until marriage to have sex?
Great question.
Isn't that like buying a car without test driving it?
Great question.
I personally
You shouldn't wait with sex on marriage. That's craziness. Because you don't know if you're compatible.
don't think waiting until marriage makes any sense.
Yeah, but like to each their own, I guess.
Isn't that like buying a car without test driving it first?
Yeah.
Isn't that like buying a car without the guy is asking great
I
questions.
think they just like the idea
We're having
of
fun over
only
here.
being the only person for that person. Like it's like an ego thing for men.
What is the most popular reason people
But you can be the only person with that person. You just have to have sex with them before you get married. You can still be the only person, she said, as if you had to have so many other people.
get married?
Money.
Financial reasons, because they're 30 and desperate.
I'd say love.
What is the most popular reason people get married?
Money.
I'll tell you why most women want to get married. Safety. They want safety. They want control. And they want the emotional spike of the wedding. They want the idea of marriage. They want the princess story. They're chasing validation. They're chasing something. Most men don't want to get married unless they're brainwashed by religion. Then they have the idea that God must have them to be married. But then they're still chasing an emotional addiction of righteousness. So most people, like marriage is not going to change your relationship. It's just not. A paper is not going to change your relationship. It's going to be about doing the things that you it's about values. But most people are not acting based on values. Most people are only acting on emotional addictions. Look at it in the Western world. It's all about emotions. How much fun can I have? How many Netflix shows can I watch? How many Postmates and Tinders? How many dates can I get? How many superstars can I date?
Financial reasons, because they're 30 and desperate.
I'd say love.
And the safety, because the laws are against the man. Once they divorce, they get half the money, they get the house, and then they can get another guy. The guy has more to lose.
Are men or women more likely to marry for money?
Women, more women, all day.
Who is more easily bored in relationships, men or women?
Women.
If women are more easily bored, why are they more likely to want marriage and commitment?
Guys, if you're watching on YouTube too at the same time, please let me know in the chat right now if you can see the screen well and if you can hear well.
Status.
If women are strong and independent and don't need no man, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
I love her. She's so amazing.
Bored.
Like,
Why are
her
they more
answers are
likely
really
to marry
good.
for money?
Women, more women, all day.
Who is more easily bored in relationships, men or women?
Women.
Again, emotionally addictive engine. Remember that. Did you hear what she just said? Who's more easily bored in relationship? They're making it about the boredom. I feel bored. I need to chase more fun. It's not about valued actions. Most people in society are doing compulsions. It's the definition of compulsions. It's the definition of hurting your mental health. No one speaks about this. I saw an interview on Joe Rogan. He has like the best psychologist on, the best therapist. They have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to mental health. Even someone talking about ADHD. It's nonsense. It is all about cutting out compulsions and all about training your brain into mental health. It's a skill. It's about building mindfulness and doing the things you value.
Women are more easily bored. Why are they more likely to want marriage and commitment?
Status.
If women are strong and independent and don't need no man, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
They're liars.
Because, like I said, I feel like it's really hard to keep a woman happy nowadays because women don't know what they want at this point anymore. I don't think.
Strong and independent and don't need no man, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
They're liars.
Because, like I said, I feel like it's really hard to keep a woman happy nowadays because women don't know what they want at this point anymore. I don't think.
Why?
To be honest, these are like really like, these girls give really good answers. If you look some other interviews, it's crazy.
I think they have come up with something in their mind through internet, and they think that that's what they
You have to go on YouTube if you want to hear what I'm hearing.
want. But when they get it, I think that
She's
they
so on
still
point. She's so on
put
point.
something in their mind through
King of Kings
internet.
energy on YouTube. She's so on point. Listen to what she's saying right now.
I think they have come up with something in their mind through internet.
Exactly.
And they think that that's what they want, but when they get it, I think that they still, like, that's not what they want.
Exactly. Most women are herd animals. They need to be agreeable. I'm saying most. Don't say everybody, okay? Because if you're a woman who think for yourself, good for you. Most men at the same time are also herd animals, by the way. They also, I see so many men regurgitate information, okay? So don't think I'm going to say this. But what she just said was so important. She said they get their ideas about relationship from the internet. They get their ideas from the relationship on TikTok. They see some ego boosting content of like, yeah, women are the boss. This, I'm individual. I'm better than men. I'm better than this. If he loses me, he loses out. Those go viral. And then also all the ideas about relationships, all the ideas about marriage, what a man, how he's behaving. They get this all from other women on the internet. And because they follow trends so much, they follow trends all the time. Who is following trends the most, men or women? Women. And they keep following the trends and they keep following the ideas. And this is the problem with mindfulness and emotional fitness. You are literally being a slave to your brain and you don't understand it. This is why cognitive diffusion is so important. Cognitive diffusion is the differentiation between you and your brain. They cannot differentiate between themselves and the brain. That's why they're slaves to the brain and they're slaves to those ideas that they get from TikTok. And then they follow them, they chase them, and then ask themselves why they're unhappy. Because they're chasing the emotional addictive engine. They're chasing more and more validation. By chasing more and more validation, they get more and more insecurity. Because by chasing validation, because your brain watches your behavior, your brain's like, oh, you love chasing validation. You love chasing validation. Okay, how can I give you more chasing validation? How can I give you more urges to chase validation? Oh, I know. I'm going to give you more feelings of insecurity. I'm going to give you more thoughts of not being good enough. Because then I know you're going to chase more validation. The brain doesn't have hands or arms to support you in doing what you want to do, what you show it you want to do. And you show it what you want to do not by your speaking, but by your behavior. So if by your behavior, you're showing that you love chasing validation, your brain's like, oh, what do I have? Oh, yeah, I have emotions. I can give more insecurity. That's what it does.
You know?
Do you think it's harder to find or to maintain a relationship?
Find.
Maintain. Harder to find.
Harder to maintain.
Why do some people let themselves go after marriage?
I guess because they're not really looking for something new anymore, so they don't feel like they have to impress anyone.
Why do they let themselves go after marriage? Because now the person is tied to the government and tied to expectation.
Comfortable.
What is the difference between being comfortable versus being lazy?
I think as long as you're still confident in yourself, you're comfortable. I think once you let yourself go past what you're comfortable
I'm only on YouTube right now, guys. So come on YouTube. King of Kings energy.
with, then you're lazy.
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder to find or to maintain a relationship?
Tough question, though. Yeah, hard to find, definitely hard to find.
Why do some people let themselves go after getting married?
Because you get lazy and you order Domino's, McDonald's, Deliveroo.
And then you have...
Because the woman doesn't have to chase anymore. She doesn't have to do anything to get... She feels like she's on the final stage. She made it. And the man now is in a contract. And if the man leaves... He has to give half. He has to give the house, and he has to have and the kids if they have kids. So she thinks she's cool, but all of it is not acting on values. It's still acting on laziness, and laziness is still an emotion. You still don't want to deal with other emotions. You're still on the emotional addictive engine. It's so simple if you think about it.
Baby as well.
Why do some people let themselves...
That's why you have to marry someone. If you get married, don't get married. But if you do, on a valued action engine. Someone who acts on their values if they feel like it or not.
Go after marriage?
Because they feel comfortable.
What is the difference between being comfortable and being lazy?
I
Being,
think.
oh, do you want to go?
Or you can go.
I was going to say being lazy is not adding into anything and then also just like letting yourself go personally.
Yeah, like being lazy is just like not putting in any effort anymore.
Yeah.
What is the difference between being comfortable and being lazy?
It's the same.
Same, yeah, same.
Do you think marriage encourages people to become lazy?
They just like to reframe the words. Oh, I'd rather say I'm comfortable than I'm lazy. Because again, they're on the emotional addictive engine. They don't want to take accountability, and they don't want to embarrass themselves. So they just reframe everything. There's no truth in most answers in these interviews. It's mostly people trying to say things so they're not embarrassed. And also they don't think through things.
Probably.
Yeah.
We haven't found out yet. We're only an hour in. But probably.
Do you think women care more about getting married than they care about being married?
Yeah, 100%.
Why is that?
Because they want the big fancy wedding and the party.
But they don't want to be wives?
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. They're chasing the emotions. They're an emotional addictive engine. It's all about chasing thoughts and emotions. You just heard it.
What are your thoughts on the expression happy wife, happy life?
I was going to say, I hope so.
That's going to be an abusive relationship. If you only have a happy life, if you serve another person, and that's why I don't agree with Red Pill either, to serve the man. It should be two people growing together in the direction of similar values with actions.
Yeah.
Why not happy spouse, happy house?
Yes, exactly. What about that?
But the women are in charge, right? Come on.
Is marriage 50-50?
Yeah.
The women are in charge. Men let women be in charge. But that doesn't mean that men are in charge. I don't mean with that men are in charge or women are in charge. I mean that men let women be in charge. No, the man let women be. There's some men who are simps.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the expression happy wife, happy life?
I think it's accurate.
Why not happy spouse, happy house?
Okay, that's more accurate.
It's both ways.
So why don't we have happy spouse, happy house?
I don't know. It's women who feel that they should just be happy, and not.
Isn't that kind of selfish?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that relationship doomed to fail?
Yes.
Honestly, she should be a speaker because she's so honest. She's so direct.
Is marriage 50-50?
No.
Who carries more of the burden?
The man.
How so?
Well, if he's a working man, he's out in the field more working and taking care of the responsibilities of the home.
They are the sole provider of the household, and along with that, all the other things that come with being the sole provider of a household. So,
Are men still expected to be the sole providers?
I would say it depends on background and culture. I would still lean more
Most women are only attracted to men who are the providers.
towards yes in this society. You do have a lot of women out there that can hold it down on their own, and those are proven facts. A lot of women now don't need men, but I would still say that for the majority of women, they do rely on men to hold it down.
So then what would be the incentive for a man to get married?
To have children.
Is there anything a married
Can you get children without being married? Yes.
couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
No.
Exactly.
So why would a man need to get married if he can have children without being married?
Well, out of wedlock.
I mean,
Out of wedlock. This is like just out of wedlock. It's just a label that doesn't mean anything. It's just made up. It's to control people. People say, "Oh, in front of God only," and those things. Okay, if it's in front of God, why do you need a paper from the government? Why do you need to have it legalized? Why do people need to give half off? Why does the government force a man to give half of his income and the house and the kids? See, it's crazy.
I think the incentives for anyone to get married are a loving relationship and to start a family.
Is there anything a married couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
You can have, like, marriage is not going to change the relationship.
I don't think so. I think it just signifies a bigger commitment.
Yeah.
What are the incentives for a man to get married?
But commitment is like prison. Like women's commitment. I force yes, I know that I'm signing this because then it's a commitment, because then if I get divorced, I have to go through all this stuff and
Realistically, there aren't any.
Is there?
Show us your boobs.
Oh, no, thank you.
what the
That's
fuck?
how you handle catcalling.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
That's, yeah,
That was
there's
not-
no incentives.
I love how you handle that. That was great. Okay. Is there anything a married couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
No. Really?
Yeah,
like, if
no.
you think about it, no. Like, if you're dating and then you get married, like, nothing should really change. Except for, like, the status.
Should the over 50% divorce rate be a concern of his?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a thing. It's
Is
I think
marriage a
60%
wise
now.
financial decision for a man?
I mean, there's tax breaks for it, so.
Yeah.
Should the over 50% divorce rate be a concern?
I think so, yes, but I also think a lot of people now are more getting used to the idea of commitment.
Yeah.
What? Think of it. If someone would tell you, okay, I heard this example, by the way, it's not mine. I heard it somewhere. If you are in a meeting and there's a 50% chance that you can get hit by a sledgehammer when you go out the front door, would you still go out the front door? No, you wouldn't. You would out the window and around.
Okay. Should the fact that divorce laws favor women be a concern?
Divorce laws in certain cases do favor women, especially with families, but in a lot of situations they can be just as favorable to the man.
Yeah.
Women typically get alimony and child support. Men typically have to pay all this money and lose half of their stuff. Should that be a concern of men getting married?
If they're confident in love, then they shouldn't worry.
If they're confident in love, then they shouldn't worry. Do you see that? Most people are an emotionally addictive engine. They make it about feelings. Oh, the feeling of... People don't even know what love is, most people. Most people, it's chasing an emotional addiction. It's not actually love. It's not actually caring about the other person. It's caring about how the other person can make you feel. So even in marriage, like, the feelings change. And when someone else makes you feel better or doesn't make you feel like that anymore, you say, oh, I want a divorce. What?
Right, but I mean...
Do you know 80% of divorces that are chosen by the woman? Doesn't it say anything to you?
I think that anyone who ever got divorced wasn't in love going into it?
No.
Yeah, sometimes.
If
Right.
people use them.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if there's no incentive for a man basically to get married, why should a man risk losing half of everything he has for something that doesn't really benefit him?
Well, why should a woman?
Because men typically are the ones with more assets going into marriage than women are?
Not in this day and age.
Really? So you think that most women will marry a man who has less than she does? That doesn't typically happen. Most
I
women women are more likely to marry for money, and they've done that throughout history, don't you think?
Yeah, but I think times are changing and women are getting more opportunities.
Do you think that hypergamy, also known as marrying up, is learned or natural behavior?
I was gonna say natural.
That's
It depends on.
It's societal.
I was gonna say it depends on how you're raised.
Well, no, because your type is based off of what society tells you your type is.
Do you think that the Cinderella story or romantic comedies have had any influence?
A little bit.
No, 100%.
I mean, don't women want to marry a rich prince?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so aren't women kind of like encouraged to like look for the highest, status guy they can find?
No, but I feel like there's a lot of women out there that want to be like bigger for themselves and don't want to be like belittled by a man. So why would you put yourself in the perspective of like they're doing better than you?
Okay. Is asking...
I just want to give so much props to this interviewer. Still don't know his name. But in real time, he's changing. I saw this in some of the people's... Look at the girl on the left. She gets like revelation after revelation. Like in some of these girls, he's really changing the opinion. And these interviews going out, he changes with questions. This is how fucking powerful questions are.
Sign a prenup considered insulting?
No. I don't think so. I think prenups should be discussed between every couple.
Why wouldn't a woman be in favor of a prenup to reassure her man that she's not marrying him for his money?
I guess she doesn't want to seem like a gold digger.
So wouldn't it make more sense for a woman to be the first one to bring up a prenup?
Yeah, they should.
So why don't they?
I guess they're trying to save face and not seem as a gold digger.
When it comes to relationships, why won't women go half on anything financial except divorce?
Technology and culture. Women are pretty much trained through technology and Instagram and stuff to have the guy cover everything. The thing is that some of these guys are doing it.
No, I think that's starting to change.
How so?
Like, personally, I know a lot of my friends have started, like, when they go out with their boyfriends, they split everything 50-50. Like, they'll get separate checks. Even if they've been dating for 5, 6, 7 years, they'll split everything 50-50.
I'm the kind of person that just likes to buy everything because it's
like,
how
I feel guilty.
show my appreciation. I also feel, guilty, yeah.
If a guy gives you an engagement ring and he calls off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
Depends on what the guy did. If he cheated, no.
If a guy gives you an engagement ring and you call off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
Yes.
If a guy gives you an engagement ring and he calls off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
No.
Yes. Oh.
If he calls off the engagement ring, that's yours.
The engagement ring?
All right. If a guy gives you an engagement ring and you call off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
Yes. I think it goes both ways.
No, because if he's the one that calls off the wedding after giving it to you, that's not a you choice and it's considered a gift. What you
Yeah,
do
but
with that at that
me
point-
personally, I give it back.
I wouldn't.
W girl on the right. W girl on the right.
If marriage is supposed to be an equal partnership, why does a woman get an expensive engagement ring but a man doesn't?
I mean,
I
I think that's just like systemic. Like that's just what's
Yeah.
happened for the last 1,000 years.
But like I feel like the man's wedding ring is the one that is more expensive than the female
And
wedding
it's more
ring.
symbolic, but you know what I find funny is that men don't wear their wedding rings.
That is also
a lot
true.
of men don't.
Actually, related to that, why is it that a woman will wear a fake wedding ring to repel men, but a man will wear a fake wedding ring to attract women?
You know what's so funny? I'm wearing one right now.
Why is that?
I think it just is like, for me, like it's just a thing to like keep the weirdos away.
Right, but are you aware that the opposite is true for men?
Me personally, not. Like I can see it in like other women because it's just kind of that. It's more of the factor of like you can get what somebody else has.
Do you see that? Chasing status, chasing winning, like I'm getting your man. It's still about a feeling. It's all emotional addictive engine. I want you guys to learn from this.
And like sometimes like that feels good. Like you always want to come out like the winner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you always want to
So it's competition, and like if you feel like you're doing better than somebody and you can get what they have, it feels good. But for me, it's just like, nah, like don't talk to me. You're in a committed relationship. I'm good.
Do you think it's true that women generally want what they can't have?
Yes.
Yes.
So then wouldn't you say that chasing women is terrible advice for...
But that's again because of chasing validation, because they think what they can't have is better than them. And they don't think they're good enough. And that goes to a man and woman, by the way. But the woman chases then those people because she's still on an addictive engine. She's trying to chase in the validation to boost her ego, to find self-worth. And as soon as the person texts her back, as soon as the person says, I love you, as soon as the person likes you, you don't like him anymore because there's no validation to chase anymore.
men?
Yes.
Because if he chases you, he's telling you, you can have me.
I think a lot of women will want what they can't have, but a lot of men will not take a no from a woman that they would respect it from a man.
Yeah.
Why are there women quick to reject a man that lives with his mom, but quick to accept a man that lives with his wife?
Because women suck.
I guess because there's a stigma if you live with your mom, then you're a bum, but I don't believe that, but a lot of women think that.
Would women prefer to be the emperor's mistress or the peasant's wife?
Probably the emperor's mistress because I guess it's like a higher...
So women would rather share a high-value man with another woman than have an average man all to herself?
I feel like a lot of women would want that. Probably.
His questions are so G. I wonder like how he prepares, because these questions are amazing.
Most likely.
It sounds like most women are gold diggers, huh?
There's a lot of those out here.
Is giving birth more of a privilege or burden for women? Is providing for a family more of a privilege or burden for men?
A privilege.
How likely are men to leave if their wife can't bear children?
That's crazy, actually. That's crazy what you just asked.
Birth more of a privilege?
That probably, most likely.
It sounds like most women are gold diggers, huh?
There's a lot of those out here.
Is giving birth more of a privilege or burden for women?
Honestly, like, I think even back in the day, it was like a privilege. Like, that is a privilege. And if anybody is like, I want a woman who sees it as a privilege. Because I see it as a privilege to provide for my family. His questions are amazing.
Is providing for a family more of a privilege or burden for men?
A privilege.
How likely are men to leave if their wife can't bear children?
Most likely.
How likely are women to stay if their man can't provide?
Not likely. Nah.
Can we conclude that providing is more of a burden for men because women are less likely to stay?
Yes.
Can we conclude that providing is more
This guy is a
burden
genius.
for men because women are less likely to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't marriage vows say for richer, for poorer, and sickness and in health?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't abide by that.
Why do so many women
This guy, follow him. I don't care what you're saying. Follow him. The questions are amazing.
feel the need to proudly announce that they don't need men when plenty of women still want men?
Because
I
we
think
don't need them.
because women have been in a position for so long where they couldn't do anything without a husband that it finally feels freeing that they don't need one.
I'm guilty of that.
I think it's an ego thing.
What purpose does that serve?
Yeah. A lot of people don't abide by that.
For poorer and sickness and in health?
Yeah. A lot of people don't abide by that.
Why do so many women feel the need to proudly announce that they don't need men when plenty of women still want men?
Because
I
we
think
don't need them.
because women have been in a position for so long.
Sorry, I
where they
didn't hear the
couldn't do it.
question. I was zoning out.
Why do so many women feel the need to proudly announce that they don't need men when plenty of women still want men?
Because
I
we
think
don't need
because women have been in a position for so long where they couldn't do anything without a husband that it finally feels freeing that they don't need one.
I'm guilty of that.
I think it's an ego.
It's just a cultural ego. Exactly. I love this girl. It's a cultural ego thing. Oh, Beyonce, we don't need men. We so independent. No, you're not. When I was driving Uber, I'm going to tell you guys, when I was driving Uber, and this is just no joke, I was driving for 5 years, Uber and Lyft and Sidecar. If you guys remember Sidecar, I was driving everything, and I was driving full time. Like, I was driving a lot of, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of trips, and I was driving here in LA, picking up a lot of college girls, picking up a lot of young girls, picking up a lot of women. Okay. Now, the overwhelming theme in women talking in my car, and they don't care that the driver is there. That's the crazy thing. They will talk about everything. Everything. They just, there's a driver. We will never see him again. They say everything. They will even include you at times. But the overwhelming addiction, obsession is man. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. Most of the conversations are about men, about guys behind doors. Like, oh, this guy, I miss him. Or, oh, what is he doing? How do you think I can get him? And like talking about man constantly. Guess what men talk about? Business. Mostly business. But yeah, sometimes when they go out, oh, let's get these hoes. Let's get these girls. Sometimes, but the guys like talk about opportunities, growing, fitness, but mostly business, mostly growing, mostly like moving forward.
What purpose does that serve?
I think it just makes you feel better about yourself.
Exactly. Do you see? This is what I'm telling every time. Feeling better about yourself. It's all the emotional addictive engine. It's so normal. And people, when I say this, people think, yo, what do you mean? Of course I want to feel better about myself. It's a compulsion. Look it up. ACT therapy. It will destroy your mental health. It will cause addictions. You trying to make feelings feel better. You trying to chase validation. You trying to chase feelings is where the compulsion is. You're trying to control feelings and you're building addictions with that because you stay on the emotional addictive engine, and then you will always chase emotion everywhere. You chase the highs of marriage, you chase the highs of going out, you chase the highs of chasing rap stars, money, travels. You will never get enough and you will always be unhappy. And this is why we have to change to the valued action engine. And the funny thing is, when you change to the valued action engine, over time, you will actually get happier and you will be more mindful and you don't have so much stories in your head because you practice mindfulness.
Like, men this really bad habit, no offense to men, of tearing women down. And so then when you're like, I don't need a man, you're basically just being like, I don't need to take the bullshit that men like give me.
Yeah, like I have a tattoo on my back that says you're much more than that, and it's basically just saying that like women are perceived more as like a body or like a pretty face. So it just like is a nice reminder. So I think it's more.
I know a lot of men, and maybe it's because I know a lot of good men, but I don't know anyone who's like trying to tear a woman down. I think it's the man that they might choose is again the people where are assholes and they treat them not good. And it seems like they treat them not good, but in reality, okay, not good means that they are not the only girl and they will like move to another girl. I don't think she means beating or something like that, but I do believe that women, because they want to play the same game as the man nowadays, and they don't see their own beauty anymore. They don't see their own natural, like back to nature. And that doesn't mean that they don't. I love women who are independent and build their business. But it's like, stop comparing yourself to man. Even like in sports, you cannot be as strong as a man. It's so normal. You cannot be as strong as a man. Like 15-year-old boys will beat the U.S. national team in soccer. 15-year-old boys who are not even grown enough will be professional sports athletes. I think it's women feeling not good enough, and because they pretend like they are, we don't need a man, and they say all these things because in reality, they're jealous of men. But don't get me wrong, they shouldn't be jealous of men because you shouldn't compare yourself with men. And I think they're jealous of men because they saw all men build the world with the streets, NASA, going to the moon, doing all these creations, doing all the apps. But it's going to be about like women are so beautiful by themselves. It's going to be about embracing womanhood. And that doesn't mean to not build apps. Build apps if you want to, but follow your desires. Don't do it to compete with men. Follow the things that you want to do. Men also follow the things that they want to do. And yeah, there's some men who follow things because they want to impress a woman, which is dumb. I'm saying that too. But follow the things that you love. Don't try to go in business because you think you have to compete with men. If you love something else, like art or something, do that. And embrace to be a woman. Stop competing with men. And this comes a lot of times, it's on the wrong plane.
That aspect.
If women often objectify men financially and see them as success objects, why is it wrong for men to objectify women sexually and see them as sex objects?
Because women want their cake and they eat it too and want to complain about everything and male bash.
So what advice would you give to the men who don't trust women?
Keep your guards up.
Damn, it's so true. Like it's always like they want to have the success, chase the man with success, and men usually at first want attractiveness. The biggest thing is attractiveness in the beginning, biologically, but we get shamed for it, and they don't. Like, I'm a man. I'm going to look, right, and you get shamed for it but that's all. We biologically wired. That doesn't mean be a creep, but that it means appreciate the beauty of a woman. Of course we do. Of course we're attracted. It's so crazy nowadays. Fuck everyone, by the way, who is like, sexist, misogynist. If you didn't understand this, if you don't see my 4,000 videos and see me being very equal to everyone, helping everyone who's there. Again, if you fuck anybody, you don't even have, you barely have a brain. If you judging people like everybody, almost every man, no matter what they say nowadays, is judged as a sexist or misogynist because by all the patterns that you give. But I don't care what somebody's religion is. I don't care what somebody's skin color is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what you do. I care only what your heart is. Do you have a good heart? That's it. That's it. Okay? And that's my statement. And for everybody who's like, nah, misogyny, fuck you. I think that was good. I'm glad I did this. I was a little sick. I'm a little sick, like you guys know, last 4 days. But this is what I want to give you guys a tip today. I might have not felt like doing this before I started doing this. And even the TikTok live, I might have not felt like it. But now I did it, and I feel much more accomplished because I did it. And I have fun doing it. I had fun talking to you guys. So this is emotional fitness. I had the value to do this, to react to this. And even though I was sick, I did it anyway. I feel much better and accomplished because of it. So thank you. We might do another one tomorrow. And, I see the comments. Hi, so excited. TK Morris. What about children? I would rather be married when I have a kid. I mean, can you raise good children without being married? Of course you can. Act on your values, yes. Okay, guys, I love you. Check out the replay if you just came in. We're going to do more. This is fun. Maybe I'll become a streamer.